And I'm letting you know I'm doing a little different thing with the microphone tonight, so you may hear a little bit more background noise, and that's because the only way it picks up my breath and the sound of my breath is if I leave the mic fully open rather than optimized for voice. So we'll see how it goes. But tonight we're going to work a little bit on what's called breath of fire and a little bit of Kundalini yoga moves. So if you've not done Kundalini, this is a little bit more of a movement with the yoga and the breath. And so I'm hoping you're open to a little experimentation. Let's begin in a reclined butterfly. So we'll lay down on our mats and bring the soles of your feet together. And bring your arms up into cactus. And if your knees feel like they're uncomfortable and need support, you can bring your blocks underneath the side of the knees so that you get a little support on the thigh. So that's kind of up to you. I want you to feel relatively relaxed here in this posture. Take a nice big breath in. And hold at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you exhale, let your body really sink into the earth, releasing. Inhale to fullness. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Feel the earth support you. Heavy, heavy, heavy. One more of those breaths, breathing in, holding, letting go. And then returning to the natural breath and bringing your attention to the breath in the tip of the nose, feeling the coolness on the inhale. And the warmth on the exhale. Moving into the sinus, the third eye, feeling the coolness of the breath a little further up, like right between the eyes. Moving the attention to the back of the throat where the breath swirls as it enters. Now feeling it more into the lungs, maybe feeling the diaphragm moving around the base of the ribs. Moving your attention now into the low belly and feeling the belly move with the breath. And then taking in more of a global experience of the breath, the whole body breathing. Taking your attention to the breath over the heart and setting an intention for practice, a vow. Perhaps to deepen your presence, your listening, or to bring more peace. Bring your hands alongside the body. Bring the knees up and gently let the knees windshield wiper left and right. And then let both knees fall off in one direction or the other and let the gaze come to the opposite direction. Breath in and release. Bring the knees back up to center, a little back and forth. And drop them over to the other side. Take your gaze off in this direction, in the opposite direction of your knees. Take a breath in. and release. Then bring your hands right here at the base of your thighs. Bring your knees in just a little bit. We're going to rock and roll just a little bit. So just see how your spine is feeling this evening. Is this comfortable for you? And then come on up to a seated posture, rolling on over onto your hands and knees. Bring your hands underneath your shoulder points, knees underneath the hips. We're going to begin that breathing with the cat-cow movement. So inhale, looking forward. Exhale, arch the back up. And we're going to start now moving towards a breath of fire. And this is optional. You can go slowly. But breath of fire is going to look more like this. So a full breath in, and then exhale out. Really working that abdomen and hips. Ending with a big breath in and a slow exhale. Walk your hands back as you come with your hips on your heels or on a block between your heels. Coming up to a seated posture. Feel that tallness in your spine. Feel the back engaged, shoulder blades together, arms in cactus. And then just curl those fingertips in like a claw. And feel the hands drawing back, the elbows drawing back and together. We're going to find that breath of fire in that low belly. Breath of fire is going to be about 20 exhales. So one big breath in, and then a puffing exhale for 20 times, and then a slow big breath in and a slow exhale. Let's begin. Big breath in and breathing from the belly here. Big breath in and release the arms with the breath. Nice and slow. This may be a new experience for you. Be patient with yourself. Arms in cactus and the little claw fingers. Draw those elbows back. We'll repeat. Inhale. Breath of fire. Big breath in and release. And just to coordinate, the exhale happens as the abdomen pulses in. One more time. Arms up, claw-like fingers, elbows back. Big breath in. Breath of fire. Big breath in and release. That's not all. We've got some more. Come up onto your knees here. We're going to clear the air. So with this one here, we're going to be breathing as we're windshield wipering the arms like this, waving the arms overhead to really clear the air and breathing with that breath of fire. Okay? And you'll notice that your arms will get a little bit tired because we're doing so much arm work. So honor your own experience, and if that's not right for you, you can make the motion a little lower if it's not helpful. So please adjust as is right, okay? Inhale up, and breath of fire. Big breath in, slow release. I'm going to do this 2 more times. Inhale up, breath of fire. And another big inhale. And releasing. Big breath in. Breath of fire. Big breath in and release. We're putting our energy like a match to paper, lighting and igniting the fire inside of us. The next one, you'll stand on your knees or in a pillar pose, squeeze the glutes to open the front of the hips, and we're going to have our arms out kind of in front of us or to the sides, but I think in front is going to work a little better. On the exhale, you'll twist. Inhale in the center, exhale, twist. Okay, so just feel your energy. If it's too much to hold your arms up, you can also bring your arms to the side like this, okay? Big breath in and exhale. Inhale, exhale, and follow your breath. Big breath in. Slow exhale. And release. Do a couple shoulder rolls. Lengthen through the crown of the head and then drop that chin to the chest and roll out the back of the neck. Inhale, fold the crown of the head up. A couple more shoulder rolls. How are you doing? Checking in with yourself, making sure you're being kind. As we come on over onto our hands and knees again, this time we're going to come into our downward facing dog. So spread your hands nice and wide, putting weight at the base of the thumb and the first finger. Tuck your toes. The feet are pretty much in alignment with the hands. And then float the knees a bit. Push the hips back towards the heels, the chest towards the thighs, and slowly rise up to your down dog. Pedal out the back of the legs and explore your dog this evening. Inhale forward into plank. Come on down, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, soften. Inhale, cobra, gazing over the right shoulder, lengthening through the right foot. Exhale, down. Inhale on the left side, over the shoulder with the gaze, extending the left foot. Exhale, soften. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, soften. Tuck your toes. Push the hips back towards child's pose. Feel the spine lift up just a bit. Inhale forward, this time squeezing the glutes to lift the front of the hips, or press the front of the hips forward, I should say. Untuck the toes. Then tuck your toes. Push back to downward facing dog. We'll take that flow once again. Inhale, forward plank. Knees, chest, chin. Keeping the elbows in. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale over the right shoulder. And soften. Left. And soften. Center. Soften. Tuck your toes. Push it back towards child's. Inhale forward. Modified up dog. Exhale. Tuck the toes. Down dog. Let the tailbone rise. Take a gaze between the hands and walk forward to your forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, pressing on the shins, drawing the shoulder blades down. Exhale, soften. Inhale, sweep on up. And release those arms. letting go a little bit. Okay, we have a little more breath of fire work coming, but not for a bit. So go ahead and enjoy our flow for a bit, and we're going to get our regular stretches in. Coming into your mountain posture, you'll get to hear my Ujjayi breath now. So feel your heels into the mat, toes spread wide, so you have a nice firm foot on the mat, lining up with the outside edge of your mat. And as you stack your joints, start to narrow the throat just a little bit. Breathing. That exhale, which has the sound of the ocean. Inhale those arms up. Take the right wrist into the left hand. Lengthen through that right side of the body. Side bend to the left. Inhale tall. Exhale, switch sides. Side bend to the right. Inhale, lift. And bend. Lift. And bend. Lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and step back on the right. And go ahead and bring that right knee down, untuck the toes, sweep the arms up. Drop the hips towards that forward heel. Exhale, walk the hips back, lengthen into that hurdler stretch. And then walking your hands forward, tuck the back toes, coming to our runner's lunge. Bring the left hand on the inside of the foot, or bring the elbow to the knee, or the hand on a block, whatever is comfortable for you. We're wanting to open into an open twist, so the heart floating away from the knee. Try and stack your shoulders. Lengthen from the back heel through the crown. Then bring that right hand down. And now usually this twist is a little easier. Turning the heart towards the knee, left hand stacks over the right. Set your block aside, step back for your plank. And lift the tailbone just a little bit so no sway back. And then take your knees down, elbows in, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra as you untuck your toes. Exhale, push to down dog. Inhale, lift the right foot up and the knees stack the hips. And then on the exhale, bring that right knee behind the right wrist. I'm going to take our active pigeon here. Slide the shin forward. Keep the ankle flexed. Begin to feel that stretch in the outer right hip. Option to tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. Play with that just a little bit. Option to lift the right knee up and down a little bit as you explore that stretch in that outer right hip. The knee should remain fully comfortable. So do listen to your body. Breathing here. So much of yoga is about the breath, so it's kind of nice that you're able to hear all that, although you may be getting a little bit more on the recording than just, or on the Zoom, than just the breath. Lifting up my right foot, heel toe over into the lunge position. Tuck the back toes and step to forward fold. Inhale for a half lift and fold. Inhale, sweep those arms back as you squeeze your glutes and lift to tall mountain and release. Beautiful. Let's take those moves onto the other side. Finding your mountain posture. Feeling the joints stacking in that Ujjayi breath. Inhale, arms sweeping up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, stepping back on the right, bringing that knee down, and then sinking into that modified warrior one. Slowly bring the hands down to the mat and draw that right hip back. Get that stretch in the back of the leg. And And then walk your hands forward. And we're going to tuck the toes and come into your runner's lunge, bringing the block to the inside of that right foot. And just using that to place your hand on as you raise the left hand up, taking your open twist on this side. Try to keep the torso long. Bring the left hand down. Set the block aside if you'd like, and take the twist to the close, towards the knee, close twist. Stack the shoulders. Back knee is coming up the thigh. And exhale, bring the hand down and step the right foot back for your plank. And then gently bring yourself down, knees down, elbows in, chest and chin. Inhale, lift in cobra. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, tuck the toes and lift the hips high, down dog. Inhale the left foot up, bend the knee and stack the hips. And bring that left knee behind the left wrist for our active pigeon on this side. Slide the shin forward a bit so you get a little bit more stretch in the outer right hip. You may not have the same flexibility on both sides. I surely don't. Just work with the way your body is. Breathing in that stretch. One more breath. And then lifting that left knee and heel-toeing that left foot over to the left. Tuck the back toes, step to forward fold. Inhale for your half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep it up. And release. And take a little releasing motion, letting go of tension. We're going to do another fun pose tonight that I don't do very often, called Holy Fig Tree. You've probably heard of regular tree, but Holy Fig Tree is just a little variation on that. I think it's just fun to have a change every once in a while. So we'll move first from chair. So I'm going to do this demonstration on an angle so you can see all limbs of the pose. So coming into your chair, then we're going to lengthen up on the one side. So lift up on the one side, then the other side, the foot goes back and the hand goes out to the side like you're holding a platter on the side. Holy Fig Tree. Then return to your chair. And then we'll switch. We'll get long on the right side and let the left foot come back and the left arm out. And back to our chair. Okay, so that's the practice. Come on up to the front of your mat and we'll start our flow with the Holy Fig Tree. Okay? So feeling the tallness in your spine again. Take a full cycle of breath. Gently come into your chair. We'll float the right foot back, pointing the toe behind you. Lengthen up through the left side of the body. And then add that right palm. Lift it up, out parallel to the earth from the right shoulder. Sweep back into your chair. Slowly lengthen up on the right side of the body. Let the left foot come back, the left arm out at the shoulder, palm up. Hold a focus point and then return into your chair. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and step back to a runner's lunge. 2 lanes of traffic. Hold a focus point as you rise, crescent lunge. Let the hips sink just a bit. Arms up alongside the ears. Find a bit of comfort in this posture as you're lifting the back heel. Engaging the breath in the belly. When you're ready, drop that back heel, coming to warrior one. Option for temple fingers. Honor your shoulders, whatever is right for you. You can also bring the arms out wide. Don't have to bring them in tight to the ears. Strong stance in the leg, pushing the feet away from each other, left knee right over the ankle. Release the hands. Bring yourself down to a block here, right on the inside of that left foot. And we're coming to pyramid. So a 3/4 stride. Draw the left hip back. Really take some energy there on the left. Pull it back so that get that hamstring stretch. Little micro bend in the knee so you feel comfortable there. Toes are wide and flat. Tailbone to crown. Lengthen. Slowly let the heart come down towards the mat. Offload a little energy onto your block. Bring some attention to the back heel, letting it lengthen towards the mat. When you're ready, soften the spine and let the heart come more towards the knee, letting the neck release. Then soften the knee, walk the hands over, coming to a standing split. Tripod the hands out from the foot, lift the back foot, and gaze behind you right past your own knee. 1 or 2 breaths here. Then take your block and place it into your left hand and come out at a little bit of a 45-degree angle from the foot. Roll open into Ardha Chandrasana, or half moon. Stack the hips, flex the right ankle, lift the right arm up to the sky. Breathe. This is also a great posture to do against the wall. If you're holding this posture, the wall helps you feel quite secure. Slowly release that back foot to the mat. Step back for a plank. And take your flow, or just take a turn directly to down dog. Flow usually includes a little bit of a knees, chest, chin, then cobra. And then we lift up to down dog or child's pose. Inhale the right foot up, bend the knee and stack the hips a moment. Exhale, step that foot forward between the hands. And we'll go for a dragonfly twist. Lift the right arm up. Exhale it down and step to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And fold. Inhale, sweep it up. And release. Good. Find your mountain, and we'll do this on the other side. Coming into your chair. Lift up long on the right. Back with the left foot, out to the left with the left arm, holy fig tree. 1 or 2 breaths. Return to your chair. Come to holy fig tree on the other side. Right foot back, right arm out, tall on the left. Sweep back into your chair. Exhale and fold. Inhale a half lift and fold. Step back on the left. Coming to your runner's lunge on this side, 2 lanes of traffic. Press the feet apart, rise to your crescent lunge. Back heel is lifted. 1 or 2 breaths here. Really engage the pelvic floor, the abdomen. Use all those breathing muscles. Drop that back heel. Warrior one. Option for temple fingers or arms out to the side. 1 or 2 breaths here. Release the hands. Bring them down along your side. Come to a block on the inside of that right foot. Coming to pyramid now. 2 lanes of traffic, both heels at 6 o'clock. Start with the right foot. Straighten the right knee. Draw the right hip back. From that right hip, lengthen out the torso. Tailbone to crown. Breathing as you draw the left heel down towards the mat. As you settle into that posture, slowly begin to soften the neck and release yourself towards that front leg. Walk the hands over the top of the block, coming to your standing split. Feel the strength and length in that right heel to hip. Lift up, lift the pelvis up, gaze behind you. 1 or 2 breaths here. Take the block in the right hand, 45 degrees from that right foot, and rolling open to Ardha Chandrasana. Stack the hips. Left arm up. You can always bring the back foot down if that's a safer option for you. Listening to your body. If you don't have the strength to hold everything up on that one hip, it's better to bring the leg down then. Gently and softly releasing the back leg into a runner's lunge. Exhale and step back for your plank. Remember that always you are in charge of moving your body. Please listen to it if it needs a different pose. Try your elbows in, knees, chest, chin. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale, push to down dog or child's pose. Inhale the left foot up. Stack the hips, flex the ankle. On the exhale, step that left foot forward between your hands. And you notice I just grab my ankle to bring it forward. If you don't have the flexibility to draw it forward on your own, that works. Keep the right hand down, the left hand reaches for the sky, drawing that right knee gap up. Left hand down, and exhale, come to forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep it up. And release. Very good, a good flow. Just feel all the movement in your body as your body is adapting to moving. So much of the day we can be still or relatively inactive, and our bodies have the ability to move. So it's lovely to take ourselves through all these different postures. Coming to the side of your mat, go ahead and step out to a 3/4 stride or so. We're going to come into having a little bit more of our Kundalini breath, our breath of fire. So this might be a little challenging. I want you to think of your feet, and if it's comfortable for you to come up on the balls of your feet, you can come up on one side and then switch over to the other, or you can come up on both. You know, when we're doing this practice, we'll first be going into the squat. So not everybody's feet have that strength in them, so please honor your own feet tonight and every night. Okay. All right, another cleansing breath. Exhale, let it out. And then slowly soften the knees and the hips. Draw the knees a little bit apart. You can begin by leaving the heels down, the toes out wide, and lifting the heart. Bring yourself into cactus arms. And then come up just maybe on one toe on the ball of one foot. And bring it down, and then on the other. And bring it down. And then if you'd like to, come up on both. That creates a little bit of a balance challenge. And now finding breath of fire. We're stacking all the challenges together. So big breath in. And breath of fire. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, release the heels and the arms out. slowly make your way back into your goddess squat. Option to lift the heels. Big breath in. Breath of fire. Pulse that abdomen. Inhale. Reach and release. One more time. This time I'd like to do a little something different with the hands. So keeping our heels on, we'll just come into our goddess squat. We'll reach forward. Exhale, elbows in. Inhale out. Exhale, cactus. Follow that pattern. Keep the hips low. Knees wide. Once more. Reach up and release. How are those legs feeling? It's pretty intense when you're using them so tightly, especially up on the balls of the feet, right? Okay, let's do a little more stretching. Lengthen out the stride to a full straddle. Heels are going to be out just a little bit more than the toes. Then reach the arms out in a T and take that infinity sign with the hands. So the infinity sign is kind of like a figure 8 on its side. So do that with your fingertips. Thumbs back, then thumbs forward. Just rotating the shoulders a little bit. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you come back. Breathing. And release the hands to the hips. Side bend over by leaning on that hip, pressing on that hip, and bringing the other hand over the ear. And then switching. Press on the hip and side bend off to the other side. Bringing the hands back, interlace behind the sacrum. Draw them down as you broaden across your collarbone. Then start sticking that tailbone out behind you. So you slowly float the heart towards the earth. Option to lift the hands or release them. Bring the hands down to the mat. Take a moment to enjoy this inversion as you slowly nod just a bit. Walk the hands through the legs. Out in front of you. Like a wide down dog, wide leg down dog. Bring the hands right underneath your gaze. Put the right fist into the mat and sweep the left arm up. Draw your bow. Take a twist off with the heart to the left. Slowly bringing that left hand down. Place that hand underneath you. Draw your bow on the right. Bring that right hand up, keeping the sacrum relatively flat, but this heart turns to the side. Bring that right hand down. Walk both hands over towards your right foot. A little stretch as the heart comes towards that right knee. And then turn those right toes towards the top or the short edge of the mat. Option to bring your hand on a block or bring your hand to the right knee. We're going to take extended side angle. So back toes are pointed off to 3 o'clock. Reach that left arm up to the sky, up over the ear. Feel that energy from that left heel right through the fingertips. Breath into the belly. Exhale, draw the pelvic floor in. Inhale, full belly. Exhale, draw the navel in. And one more breath. Sweep that top arm in a 360, coming down to the mat, and turn your toes and your body towards the long edge of the mat. And find your way over towards your left foot. Left foot faces the short edge of the mat. And come into your, we forgot our one stretch, so turn your toes back towards the long edge of the mat. And keep that heel out. And as you do so, bring your hands to that left ankle. Maybe the top hand towards the hip. And draw the heart towards the knee. A little stretch in the back and inner part of that leg. Softness in the knee. Breathing. And then as you finish that stretch, now we can turn our toes towards the short edge of the mat. Coming into that extended side angle, elbow perhaps on the knee. And then stack the shoulders and lift that arm up, straight up to the sky, and then slowly over the ear. Feel that long energy from the back of that right heel through the right fingertips. Breath or two here, really engaging the core. And slowly lowering yourself down. And this time, bring your knees right down to the mat. We're going to take our mermaid posture. Lower our hips. And our knees are both going to go off to the side. And you're going to walk your hands in the direction of the knees until they're behind you. Lengthen up the spine. Feel that tallness, that mermaid inside of you. Leave the back hand down. Then squeeze the glutes and lift that front hand up as you take a bit of a back bend here. Breathing. And gently lowering. Big breath in. And sweep it up. And release. And then switch as you rock back just a bit. Switch your feet over to the other side. Kind of 90-90 or mermaid. Walk your hands to follow your knees. Leave the back hand down to lengthen up through the spine. When you're ready, lift up. Squeeze the glutes. Raise that top arm. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, sweep it up. Little back bend here. And soften. Beautiful. Okay, bring your feet out in front of you. We'll take a nice wide stance with our feet and bring our left foot into our thigh, to our right thigh. We're going to take that head of the knee pose, lifting ourselves up tall. Taking that right arm underneath the right calf, rotating the heart up to the left and the left arm up over the top of the head towards the right toes as they reach back. And breathing here. Paravita Shirsasana. My head does not come to my knee, but sometimes it's just talking about the direction. And slowly unwinding from this posture and stretching out. And then bring that other foot, your right foot, into your left thigh. Lengthen up a bit. Slide your left hand underneath your left calf. Roll the heart open. Lift that right arm up and over. Draw the toes on the left back towards you. And breathing here. And releasing. Okay, let's come into a little core work with our boat pose. So we'll take first actually a little Kundalini movement with just our feet extended out in front of us. Maybe a little softness in the knees, but not much. Feel the spine reaching up and your arms forward. And then inhale as you lean back, the heart lifted. Exhale forward. And breathing with this. Get a little seesaw action here, or a saw going back and forth. You can continue that version or take a breather and then come into an attempt with our boat and breath of fire again. So coming onto that soft spot on your bottom where you can find your boat and then take a big breath in and breath of fire. Bring your knees back in, your feet down, cleansing breath. And release. Roll your spine down. You're going to take a bridge now. Bring your heels up behind your glutes. Exhale the small of the back down, rolling the tailbone up and squeeze the glutes up into your bridge. Reach the hands to touch the backs of your heels. Press the heels and shoulders away from each other. Breathing. Draw the knees together. And slowly exhale as you roll the spine back down. Take a hold of the base of your thighs as you reach the feet forward to roll up back into your boat. Big breath in. Breath of fire. Bring the feet in and slowly come down into your bridge. Heels behind the glutes. Press into the heels, spread the toes, roll the back up and the shoulders under just a bit. Squeeze the glutes, draw those knees together and breathe. Engage the pelvic floor, pubic bone to tailbone. Slowly lift the heels and draw the tailbone towards the heels. Do we have one more boat in us? Let's bring our hands behind our thighs and roll up into our final boat. Big breath in and breath of fire. And releasing back for our bridge. That reminds me of sometimes in Pilates, they have the Pilates 100 when you're breathing so fast like that in boat. Okay, spread your toes, let the weight go in your heels. Exhale, roll the small of the back down and come up into your bridge. 3 good breaths here, nice and slow. 2 more. 1 more. And slowly unwind the spine. Bring a block along with you. We're going to take legs up the wall. Slide that block right underneath the sacrum. It's time to unwind. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Take a big breath in. And exhale as you release your heels up to the sky, Viparita Karani. Legs up the wall. Arms can be limp alongside the body or maybe resting on your torso. Floating your heels or letting the legs reach apart for an inner thigh stretch. Circles with the ankles. Spread and curl the toes. Anything that feels good. Always good to explore movement in the body. Feel that energy from your legs and all the use of your muscles. That blood flowing back from those big muscles. With the next exhale, let the heels return to each other. And then the knees towards the chest. If it's comfortable for you, bring your hands between your knees, grab your big toes, take a happy baby. Release the feet and let them slowly come down to the behind the block, soles of the feet together, knees apart, kind of where we started, and just rock the hips a little bit left and right. The knees reaching for the corners of the room. And then slowly lift the knees back up, put some weight into the heels, and slide the block out from underneath you. Take a nice long spinal twist. So lengthen out through that left leg. Take the right knee into the left hand and bring that knee across the body. Extending that foot out in front of you as the right arm comes out behind you with the gaze. Take a bit of a breath in here and releasing. Now if that feels like too intense of a stretch, you can also bend your elbow and bring the hand to rest on the torso. And just breathe there for a breath or two, letting go, finding the end of your practice here. When it's right for you, begin to gently use that left hand to bring yourself over, back to center. Bring the left leg in, let the right heel go long. The left knee goes into the right hand. You gently bring it across the body, extending that foot out in front of you. So you take your gaze and that left hand out behind you. Big breath in. And letting go. Once again. And release. Lifting up that left knee, roll yourself back to center. And then take your hands on your kneecaps and just draw some circles on your back. Releasing the low back a bit. And then find your way into your Shavasana posture, our final resting posture for this evening. Letting your arms and legs be a little bit away from the center of the body. Roll your shoulder blades under a bit so they flatten. Feel the weight at the back of the head. And sense the echo of your practice in your body. Those tiny vibrations. Take a nice full breath in. On the exhale, softening and releasing. This is for you. You have performed your practice perfectly. Softening across the brow, letting the eyebrows drift apart, and the eyes grow heavy, soft in the skull. The face soft, the jaw unhinged. Let the tongue be thick in the mouth. The neck long and the shoulders heavy against the earth. Use up all the space you need. The earth supports you. Bringing the attention over the heart as you rest moment by moment, and breath by breath. Drink in a bit of cool breath. Sense the life in your body. Giving gratitude for what you have. This beautiful moving body. Notice what you have and pour yourself into it. Finding a little movement in fingers and toes or hands and feet, whatever is right for you. Option to draw the knees in towards the chest or lengthen out in a stretch. And then when you're ready, coming to a seated posture to close our practice time together. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. The light in life in me sees and honors the light and life in you. Om Shanti, Om Peace, Namaste. Thank you, friends, for sharing another evening of practice with me. Let me know what you thought of Kundalini Yoga. It's a little different. Sometimes they say it's Kunda crazy, or some version of that, crazy leaning yoga, because it's a little bit different when we usually are holding poses more still. This one here focuses a lot on the breath and using a big breath to have a light movement in the body. So, okay, well, you have a beautiful week. Bye-bye.